Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Ashish Dilraj and I am from Department of Commerce. Today in this session we are going to solve few practical questions from single unit and output costing system. As we all know, there are four ways of preparing a cost sheet or a statement of cost. Number one is simple cost sheet, number two is cost sheet with profit, number three is statement of cost along with a statement of profit, and the last one is comparative cost sheet. Few of the questions we already done with. Now rest of the question today we are going to solve. As you can see the first question on your screen. From the following, prepare a statement of cost. There are two articles, article A and article B. For article A, material is rupees 36,000. For article B, material is rupees 30,000. Labor is 60,000 for article A and 24,000 for article B. Works overheads are 60% of labor and office overheads are 20% of works cost. Profit is 10% of cost. With this information, we are going to solve this particular problem. We are going to prepare a statement of cost because in this question there is no output given. When there is no output given, we are bound to prepare a statement of cost and not the cost sheet. So this is the format for a statement of cost. One column for particulars, two column for amount. These two column of amount is for article A and article B. Number one, as we know, we have to add material. So material is 36,000 for article A and 30,000 for article B. In material we are going to add labor, which is 60,000 for article A and 24,000 for article B. In this question we do not have any direct expense. That is why the total of material and labor is going to give us the amount for prime cost. When we add material and labor, that is 36,000 and 60,000, the prime cost for article A is 96,000 rupees, for article B is 54,000 rupees. We know that in prime cost we have to add works expenses or works overhead or factory expenses or factory overhead, which is in this question given as 60% of labor. So for article A, labor is 60,000, 60% of 60,000 is 36,000 rupees. For article B, labor is 24,000, 60% on 24,000 is 14,400. Now we have to add works overhead along with prime cost to know the works cost or to know the factory cost. So when we add 96,000 plus 36,000, the total becomes 1,32,000 for article A, and when we add 54,000 and 14,400, the total becomes 68,400. So dear friends, the work cost for article A is 1,32,000 and for article B is 68,400. Now after getting work cost, we have to add office expenses or office overhead or administrative expenses or administrative overhead, which is in this question is 20% of works cost. So works cost is 1,32,000. So we are going to calculate 20% on 1,32,000, which is 26,400 for article A. 20% on 68,400 is 13,680 for article B. When we are going to add work cost and office overhead, the total becomes 1,58,400 for article A and 82,080 for article B. This 1,58,400 for article A and 82,080 for article B is termed as cost of production. Next in the question it is given we have to add 10% for profit, 10% on cost. So our cost is 1,58,400 for article A and 82,080 for article B. We add 10% on it. So 10% is for article A 15,840 and for article B 8,208. We all know that cost price plus profit is equals to sale price. So we are going to add cost plus profit to know its selling price. The selling price for article A is 1,74,240 and for article B is 90,288 rupees. Our next question is, Anu Manufacturing Company produces two types of machine A and B. The production during the month of December 2019 was 100 machines each. The cost of production was as follows. Direct material for machine A is 18,000 rupees, for machine B is 11,000 rupees. Direct labor for machine A is 12,000 rupees, for machine B is 6,000 rupees. Direct expenses for machine A is 2,000 rupees and for machine B is 2,000 rupees. Other information given in the question is other overhead expenses were number 1 factory 6,000 rupees and office 5,700 rupees. This is in common for machine A and machine B. Prepare a statement showing the selling price of each type of machine if a profit of 25% on sales is to be realized. Now we are going to solve this question. First of all, we are going to prepare a statement of cost, one big column for particular, two small column for amount. Two small column of amount is for machine A and machine B. As we know, in prime cost we have to add direct material, direct labor and direct expenses. So as per the information given in the question, direct material is 18,000 rupees, direct labor is 12,000 rupees, direct expenses is 2,000 rupees for machine A, the total of which is become 32,000 rupees. Similarly, direct material for machine B is 11,000 rupees, direct labor is 6,000 rupees and direct expenses is 2,000 rupees. 11,000, 6,000 and 2,000 is equals to 19,000 rupees for material B. So the prime cost we calculated by adding direct material, direct labor and direct expenses is 32,000 for machine A and 19,000 for machine B. Now in prime cost we have to add factory expenses or factory overheads or factory on cost or works expenses or works overhead or works on cost, which is in common given in this question. See, if nothing is given in the question, how we are going to distribute? All such expenses of factory is distributed in the ratio of labor or wages, in the ratio of labor. So you can check the ratio is 12,000 is to 6,000. That means 12 is to 6, or we can call it as 2 is to 1. So the factory expenses 6,000 rupees is distributed in the ratio of 2 is to 1. When we distribute 6,000 rupees in the ratio of 2 is to 1, for machine A it comes 4,000 rupees, for machine B it comes 2,000 rupees. So the factory overhead is 4,000 for machine A and 2,000 for machine B, which is added to prime cost to get the work cost or factory cost. So when we add 32,000 plus 4,000, we have 36,000 for machine A. When we add 19,000 plus 2,000, we have 21,000 as work cost for machine B. Our work cost for machine A is 36,000 and for machine B is 21,000. Now we have to add office expenses or office overhead. Again, the office expenses or office overhead is in common. So when nothing is given in the question, office expenses is going to be distributed in the ratio of work cost. So the ratio is 36,000 is to 21,000, or 36 is to 21, or we can short it as 12 is to 7. So the office expenses is going to be distributed in the ratio of 12 is to 7. When we distribute rupees 5,700 in the ratio of 12 is to 7, the amount comes to 3,600 for machine A and 2,100 for machine B. When office overhead is going to be added to work cost, we will get the total cost, which is 39,600 for machine A and 23,100 for machine B. Now we are going to add profit to it to know the selling price. In this question, it is given that if a profit of 25% on sales is to be realized, so we have to calculate 25% on sales and not on cost. So as per the formula, we have to calculate profit on sales and not profit on cost. So we are going to add 25% on sales. So first of all, 39,600 is our total cost for machine A and 23,100 is total cost for machine B. When we calculated profit, it comes to 13,200 for machine A and 7,700 for machine B. We all know that profit plus cost is equals to sale price. So 39,600 plus amount of profit, that is 13,200. The total sale price for machine A is 52,800 and the total sale price for machine B is 30,800. In the question they ask us what would be the price per unit. We know that 100 number of pieces were produced for machine A and 100 number of pieces were produced for machine B. So, 52,800 is divided by 100 as well as 30,800 is also divided by 100 to get the selling price per unit. When 52,800 is divided by 100, the price per material is 528 for A category and rupees 308 for category B. Our next question for today is, the following data relates to a standard product during the month of March 2020. Raw material consumed rupees 80,000, direct wages rupees 48,000, machine worked hours 8,000, machine hour rate rupees 4, office overheads 10% of works cost, selling overhead rupees 1.50 per unit, 1 rupee 50 paise per unit. Units produced 4,000, units sold 3,600 at rupees 50 each. You are required to prepare a cost sheet in respect of above showing cost per unit and number 2 profit for the period. If you notice in this question, the output is 4,000 and unit sold is 3,600. That is why in this particular question we are going to prepare number 1 statement of cost and number 2 statement of profit, because unit produced and unit sold is different. This is our solution. Cost sheet for the month of March 2020, output was 4,000 units. One big column for particular, 2 column for amount. First column of amount is for total amount, next column of amount is for per unit amount. Raw material consumed, in the question it is given 80,000 rupees, direct wages 48,000 rupees. In this question there is no direct expenses. The total of raw material and wages gives you the amount of prime cost. So, 80,000 plus 48,000 is equals to 1,28,000 for the total, and when all these figures are divided by the output is 4,000 units. So, 80,000 is divided by 4,000, we have 20 rupees of raw material consumed per unit. Direct wages 48,000 is again divided by 4,000. So, we have 12 rupees of direct wages per unit. So, 20 plus 12 is equals to 32 rupees per unit for prime cost. In prime cost we have to add works overhead, which is given in the question that total number of hours worked 8,000 and the rate per hour is 4 rupees. So, we have to multiply it. 8,000 is multiplied by 4 to know the factory expenses. When 8,000 is multiplied by 4, we will have 32,000 rupees in total. This 32,000 rupees is divided by 4,000 unit to get per unit of works overhead, that comes to 8 rupees. When we add 32,000 to 1,28,000, we will get works cost. So, work cost is 1,60,000 in total and per unit is 40 rupees. Then in works cost we have to add office expenses or office overhead, which is given in the question as 10% of works cost. So, 10% of 1,60,000 rupees is 16,000. So, 1,60,000 plus 16,000 give you the amount for total cost of production, which is 1,76,000 in this particular question. Then 40 rupees is our works cost per unit and 4 rupees office overhead per unit. So, 40 plus 4 is equals to 44. That means 44 rupees per unit is our cost of production. As I told you in the beginning of this question, we have output 4,000 unit and unit sold is 3,600. So, we have to calculate the cost of production of 3,600 unit. Again we are going to prepare another statement, we called it as a statement of profit. One big column for particular and 2 small column for amount. One amount column is for total amount, next amount column is for per unit amount. As you can see, cost of production for 3,600 unit is 1,58,400. How we calculate it? We calculated it by multiplying 3,600 to 44 rupees per unit. So, The total cost of production for 3600 unit at the rate of 44 rupees per unit is 1,58,400. We have to add selling expenses or selling overhead, which is 5,400 for this. How we calculate it? It is given in the question. In the question it is given 1 rupee 50 paisa per unit. So we know that our selling expenses per unit is 1 rupee 50 paisa. So 1 rupee 50 paisa is multiplied by 3600 rupees to know the selling expenses. When we multiply it, we got 5,400 rupees in total at the rate of 1 rupee 50 paisa per unit. So the total cost thus calculated. The total cost thus calculated 1,58,400 plus 5,400 for selling expenses. The total cost is 1,63,800 in total, and per unit is 44 rupees for cost of production per unit and selling overhead 1 rupee 50 paisa per unit. So 44 plus 1.50 is equals to 45 rupees 50 paisa per unit. Now we know the sales price, it is given in the question. 3600 units at the rate of 50 rupees per unit is the selling price. So the total sale price is 1,80,000. So 1,80,000 minus 1,63,800, that is our total cost. Sale price minus total cost gives you the amount of profit. In this question, the amount of profit is 16,200 and per unit amount of profit is 4 rupee 50 paisa. We have done with all the practical questions under single unit or output costing method. We have solved questions on the basis of simple cost sheet, on the basis of cost sheet with profit, and on the basis of cost sheet with statement of profit and comparative cost sheet. Thank you so much.